He's talking in admin chat these days and don't know who he is.
Sounds like Abo Hunter to me. Gronk Destroyer. Oh, is
Abo Hunter
still
wasn't
playing?
like Panther though, wasn't it?
No. Is Abo Hunter still playing, or is he gone for good?
Not sure. Probably gonna come back one day. Doesn't play me. Actually,
Cody.
he's not gone for good, but
Yikes.
I like how Shane's back.
30 seconds.
How long did that take?
His mini games, server manager.
just a
Along
manager.
with Chris.
A Grey again? Come on.
Starts in 1 minute to Boya. He's still
He's
in
ready, don't worry.
Eh?
You can't let him
starts in
down.
1 minute.
Okay.
It's already started on my clock.
Do you have your...
Looky.
Right.
Oh, bang.
He's late. He's
6 o'clock.
Where
It's
is
6
it?
o'clock.
Where's Tobia?
It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, no
Everyone-
stuff failed.
Everyone go spam.
I don't know what's happening.
Everyone just ping Tobia. Everyone ping Tobia.
No
General,
one gets
everyone ping Tobia.
Everyone picked Toby in general.
He's late. He's late to his own event.
Ping Tobia.
Wait, is he in the Discord? Oh, he's here.
What's going on?
Fuck, what took so long?
Saw me starting the staff
Who
seminar
wants to
now.
be a
Alright,
staff
can I get Jay Walls? Jay Walls, what is your
Who wants to be
age?
a staff
You want to become
member?
staff?
Shh, he's trying to talk. Shh.
Boys,
Let
hold
him
up.
talk.
Let me
Let
get
the
my
admin
slides
talk.
up, alright?
Google Chrome has started.
Wait, am I advertising if I tell the jailbreak server to join?
Tell them all, get them all in it.
No, get him in.
Go.
We need everyone here.
So we'll give people a couple minutes to get on by and I'll get my slides up, boys.
I'm gonna start pinging the whole jailbreak stuff. Hold on.
Anthony.
Do we have to apply on the Discord, or is this just a voice thing?
That's a voice thing. 2019 jailbreak domination service.
Anthony, just at everyone.
Best rap battle gets admin.
Holy shit, this
Stream. Everyone watch the stream.
Stream.
Alright, come click on the stream for the slides, boys, alright?
Sorry, we maxed out Tobia.
Everyone mics. Sharp mouth.
It's maxed out.
No mic spamming, boys, alright?
They can't access the stream.
Stream
on Twitch.
He said
Stream it on
Twitch.
Twitch.
Join it.
Stream it on Twitch.
I don't have Twitch, I don't have Twitch.
Stream it on YouTube. Stream it on.
Oh, there's too many people watching this stream.
Stream it on
Stream. Can't go on the stream.
I can't even join.
Present the slideshow.
Guys, I'll stream it on Twitch. Just give me a
Oh
second.
my god, no way.
Let's stream it on
Yeah.
Twitch.
Oh my god, he's streaming it on
Yeah, I'm gonna
Twitch.
stream it on Twitch too.
Oh my god, it's a slideshow. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hey, get ready, boys, get ready.
No way.
Oh my god, he's streaming it on
How
How many slides is this shit?
It's just 20 slides, boys, but this will be like 30 minutes, alright?
Where's the stream? How many slides? Counter, hurry up!
Look here, boys, when I start the presentation,
Toby.
I need as long as you shut up, and I'm gonna Anthony here, and he's gonna mute you for Mark spamming, alright?
Everybody and then unmute the
I need as long as you shut up.
speaking?
I can't watch the stream.
Yeah, wait, I'm fucking trying.
Anthony's deafened himself. He doesn't want. Oh no.
Can we get
Toby, share it with me.
It's alright.
Share it with me. I can go live too.
Chewbacca is streaming.
Servers.
You can watch on the. Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
I can't watch the stream. It's full. I can't watch the stream.
Watch the stream on YouTube.
Oh, quickly, Chewbacca, quickly. Oh, okay.
I can't watch the stream. It's full. I can't watch the stream.
I'm in. Alright, let's go. Yeah, start up.
Oh, quickly, Chewbacca, quickly.
I'm not in there.
It's alright. Go to
I can't hear the
Chewbacca's
fucking
stream.
orders.
Come to
can't hear the
Chewbacca's
orders.
stream in the. Yep.
I'm not in
Where's the stream?
I'm in.
There's too many people in the Discord.
How do you get in it?
Orders. I can't hear the orders.
Fix the
Wait,
quality.
what are the orders?
Where's the stream?
Too many people mic spamming in
There's so
the
many
team.
people in this chat. I have no idea what's going
In
on.
the event channel.
Ducky,
Missing out. Missing out.
Everyone shut up.
If you're not an admin,
Everyone shut up! Everyone shut up! Toby's trying to speak. Everyone be quiet.
What is going on?
Alright, everyone mic spamming in 3, 2, 1.
Off mic, boys.
Look at that.
Off
Where
mic.
the hell's the stream?
I'm just muting people, so. You not mute him? 3, 2.
Alright, we good, boys?
Oh my god.
Oh, full house tonight, boys. Full house.
Where is the stream?
Alright, we good. The link to the
There we go.
stream is in the event channel, boys. Right there. Alright. The link to the stream is in the event channel, boys. Right there. Alright.
Mute the echo.
The link to the stream.
Someone's echoing.
Oh shit.
It's also SL, I think.
Yeah, it's Axel.
XL doing it too.
Oh, boys.
Boys, don't dog.
We all here, boys? No one else coming in late?
Start up.
So here we are, boys. Welcome to the welcome to the first ever oh yay. Hold on, what's that echo?
Keep your mic.
Just mute the PowerPoint. Mute the PowerPoint. Yeah, mute the stream and mute the PowerPoint.
What's the point of the stream if we're in this channel?
Yeah, everyone leave the stream.
Shoebaker, can you stream directly from the Google PowerPoint so the quality isn't shit?
Yeah.
Boys, the stream is an IP grabber.
GTX 980. Just give us the viewer. Just give us the link and we'll all join it. We don't need to watch you.
Stream on Twitch. Stream on Twitch so everyone can see it.
Posted the link like 6 times.
Give us the Google Classroom link.
No, you're not getting it.
Wait, it's a Google Classroom link.
Yes, let me in the Google
Yeah, look.
Classroom.
There's also I also have the link to the slides in the event channel, boys. Alright.
Thank you, Peter.
It's not a Google Classroom, it's just the Google Slides, alright?
Everyone edit the link. Everyone edit the link.
Can anyone hear me? No.
Unfortunately. Yeah, everyone edit the slide.
Oh, I missed it to be in my hands up.
Where is it? Where's the slide?
You're gonna
Where
get
is the
muted.
slide?
I've already put 6 people on muted already, so.
Alright, boys. And let's start. I'll just click present. And I'd like to welcome everyone to the first ever Domination Service Start Recruitment Seminar.
That'd be so
alright?
cringe.
And well, look, don't know if this sort of thing has ever been done before or in Discord. So we're making history here, boys. Like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Alright. But before I get started, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of this land. Both the elders, both past and present. The rainbow serpent that inhabits this land. So good, boys. Alright.
Amen.
So later on, I will be introducing my guest speakers. And I'll go over some housekeeping stuff first. But without further ado, let's start. So basically, the point of today is to encourage people to make Jailbreak it great again, alright? As you may have noticed, we've been having admins resign over the last couple of days. It's been leaving the service staffless. But today, I see a lot of potential admins in chat, and I think today I'll be able to encourage a lot of people to send in an application. So the problem here we have on our domination servers, our admin retiring, obviously. And when admins leave the server, anarchy and mic spammer rule goes on and on. So to improve and maintain domination servers, a strong and active team is needed. And obviously the solution to this is competent and likable individuals applying for staff. and I will go over how to do this later on. But before we start getting into the application process, it's a good thing to know who's in charge of the place, all right? So the bosses and big bosses, you should be aware of who owns the server. So it's Onions and Hyphen, who are the managers. And Toto and Anthony help them basically run the place, keep the server number 9 in the world, a number 1 server in all of Australia. Number 7, there you go. So even better. So it just this slide's just for making you aware of who's in charge. You don't want to get on the bad side of any of these 4 individuals here, all right? And getting on the good side of these guys will actually might improve your chances of actually getting onto the staff team. Now, to get on the good side of these guys, you don't want to fanboy them, you don't want to add them in Discord, you don't want to keep sending them messages, etc., etc. Just use your common sense. I'll talk more about our reputation building in another slide. But here I have 5 guest speakers for you guys today, and I'll be introducing them left to right. And when I do, I'll have them talk a little about their experience, how they got into moderating, and yeah. So first up, Yum Candy, the only girl on the server, basically. Oh, you saw the slides, mate? Well, we can go back to you later, but fuck.
Get to that.
Whatever. Is Douglas here?
Yep.
All right, Douglas, what's going on? Want to tell us a little about yourself?
Yep.
How you became admin?
Well, I CD smoked a guy, and then a month later I got on trial.
I have a question.
That's unnecessary.
Very good. Questions will be to the end, thank you. But is that all you had to say, Douglas? Or?
I'm currently the best player on staff.
That's true.
All right.
I
Well, Big Ducky then.
I agree.
G'day.
Yeah, Big Ducky became an admin before Douglas. Want to tell us a little about that, Big Ducky? Your
He knows
journey
why.
through the staff process.
Yeah. So one thing I will warn you when you go for staff is that you will have to somewhat give up, like what I guess you can call your player status for like adminning the server. Most of the time when you're on the server, you actually have to deal with stuff. So if you don't actually like want to actively stop playing the game and like help out with free kills and all that, this is what that's.
Well, thank you, Ducky. Now, before I head on to TJ, does Yum Candy know what they're going to say? Or say a couple words? Your experience as the only female member?
I'm the longest standing mod apart from the crew. Wait. No, wait. Did crew have long?
You haven't passed crew.
Fuck. I'm going to be the longest standing mod. And don't fuck up.
Thanks.
Make connections.
Thanks.
I like that advice. Thank you.
Yeah, yep, that's right. Make connections, don't get
That'll help
demoted.
me out.
Be
All
friends
good.
with Tobia.
So, TJ, a veteran senior admin.
Yeah, so I've been around just less than a year now. Winnie's, I think, just on a yearish now, but yeah. I don't know. I got denied my first time applying, which was quite upsetting for me, but
I
I
see.
got told to wait a bit. I applied again and I eventually got it. And help from some other staff, I eventually worked my way up. And yeah.
I had to cancel him.
Good on ya.
For a week.
Perfect, exactly.
Resilience.
So after tonight, you send in your app, but if you get denied, just like TJ, you shouldn't give up. So there's a chance to send in another app later on, and then you get to where TJ is, a senior admin. So pretty good. Winnie Blues.
G'day, my name's Winnie. Got trial just more than a year ago now. I've been senior admin for 6 months. I'm the 3rd youngest staff member, and when I submitted my app, I actually really wasn't confident at all. But I got 12 plus 1s, 3 neutrals, 0 minus 1, so that's good.
And he snorts milk.
Pretty good. Vinny Blues is also a veteran DTK admin.
1 month.
Boo!
No, we're gonna talk about DTK. Alright.
It's allowed.
So, now, I actually got a message from Zonaku 5 minutes before this that he actually wanted to talk. Now, I couldn't fit him into the slides, but if Zonaku wants to say a few words about his experience through trial,
Hi.
that'd be good.
So,
Yep.
I'm Zonacool. I'm known as the OG mic spammer, and I'm currently the most recent staff member to join Domination Servers. I joined on September 15th, and I became full staff like 2 days ago. So I'm just gonna quickly summarize my trial experience in a few words. The first few days, it was kind of tough because you're kind of, well, for me at least, it felt like I was kind of rushed into it. But as your first 2 weeks go on, basically you learn all the commands, you learn the procedure, and you eventually get to have a good time as staff. And I've got a tip for everyone if you're going to apply for staff. Don't abuse your admin commands, because freaking onions, the high ups, they can see literally every single thing that you do.
Don't tell them.
Don't do what I did on the first week.
Zonacle free killed me.
Yep, exactly.
Massey.
So we've got a surprise guest speaker.
He deserves a 7 mutiny.
If I have any other guest speakers,
shut your mouth.
Yeah, Kiwi's down a few channel. He wants to guest speaker.
alright, we'll bring him in here. Kiwi, once man, now woman. Is that Kiwi?
What are you?
Once
lucky
admin,
he's
now
muted.
classic.
He's
Oh.
deafened.
Is Kiwi back or?
No, it's different.
Well, we'll just continue on.
I'll send him a text. Hold on. I got his actual phone number. Just give me a second.
Oh god.
Oh damn! Do you call him on call her on a night basis?
We'll give Kiwi 60 seconds to get talking, or we'll just move on.
This would be a great time to talk about the minimum requirements.
Oh yes.
Oh.
I mean, I assume if we're all here, we're all aware of the minimum requirements.
Are we though?
Most of us.
Jay Walls.
Jay Walls is.
Yeah.
Most of us.
Well, as said in the announcements for the server, you can't have any CT bans in the last month. 15 years or over, your age that is. 100 hours playtime, a microphone, and an understanding of the bloody rules.
Be a good warden.
What are the rules?
Rules to dominationservice.com.
If you don't meet the requirements, then
Flat straight away.
yeah, your application will be instantly denied.
What do you mean by maintaining a positive image?
Such a suck. You
Alright.
dyslexia.
It seems as though Talia is a
She was active.
no-show.
2 hours ago.
So we're just gonna move on, boys. So here's how it all works. Alright, joining staff is basically a 3-step program, and I'll go over the first step. So the first step, you basically get to the minimum requirements: 100 hours, turn 15, understand the rules. But the hidden minimum requirement is actually to be known, alright? To be reputable. Because the way applications work, every single staff member votes 1 or 0 or -1 on your app. The more ones you have, the better. And the only way they'll +1 you is if they like you. Now, I tell you, maybe the best way you can become known on the server is through wardening on CT, and being a decent warden at that. Yeah, or being a mic spammer, but that might give you the sort of bad reputation that instantly
Hey,
minus
I
ones
stopped
you.
after a while, alright? Now look where I am.
Yeah, but if you look at someone like Zonaku, who had a reputation for being a mic spammer, it's never too late to go back on that reputation and reform yourself.
Wait, so you know this is what? Wait, you just said.
Yeah.
So Zonacle was a mic spammer, and now he's not, and he should go back to being a mic spammer. Is that what you just said?
No. I said since he started off as a mic spammer.
Yeah, he should regain that reputation of being a mic spammer. Is that What you said?
No.
Like, I could be a mic spammer. I could do it.
Escort you off the
If that's-
premises. You
He,
better back down.
If that's what it takes, then you know, I reckon I
Well,
can.
looky here. What it takes is to reform from being a mic spammer, right?
Who's that talking?
And it's never too
Who's
late.
talking?
You.
Stop being a smartass and shut up, please.
Hi, I nominate myself as
Alright, off mic 13, off mic. So people like 13 are the sort of people who will, you'll be dealing with on the server. All you really have to do is do /mute 13, and then you put in the number for how many minutes you want him to be muted. So it's all good. So step 2, write a decent staff app. I'll be going through the questions, and you can write your staff app while we're doing this. It'll be good. And then step 3, after you send in your staff app, it's very important to maintain whatever reputation you have and make it better. If you fail in your first staff application, you don't want to become a degen like DeskJet. Yeah. And even if you do pass, stay as you are. Stay a good bloke. Don't turn into a degen like other people.
Give some
Now
names.
go over the application process, alright? So first you want to go on Google and look up domination servers. You need a forum account, right?
13 is spamming.
Kick 13.
Yes, he is. He's banned. Goodbye.
And then once you've logged in, you just click on portal. And once you get onto the portal, you might have to log in again, but that's all good. So just log in. And then in the home page, and then on the dashboard tab, you click on My Applications. And then you just click on Add New, and there'll be a drop-down list where you select Jailbreak Staff Application.
Well, could you repeat that, please?
Muted.
Now, we'll look at the first question here. The first question actually is if you meet the staff requirements. Obviously, if you do or you're not. You just type yes or no. So the first real question you have to think about is, what are the usual times you can be available to staff in our servers? E.g. 7 days, blah, blah, blah. Now, it'd be good to just write an estimate amount of hours. Now, we don't want you to give up your entire life, make a domination servers the only game you play. But obviously, the more hours you can be on, the better. Especially during the trial period, we want you on as much as you can. So 2 to 8 hours would probably be reasonable. It'll of course vary from person to person though. But when you're answering this, no need to go into details about, I have school at blah 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 and college at blah blah blah. Just say how many hours you can do and how many days. So have you applied before, and if so, why do you believe your application was denied? Pretty simple question here. It obviously doesn't apply to everyone. If it doesn't apply to you, you can just type NA, non-applicable. But if it does apply to you, you would have been messaged about why you weren't accepted in your first attempts. And hopefully, if you're serious about this, you would have taken it to heart and remembered why. And if so, then you can just type it in here. I wasn't accepted because I wasn't known enough. And then you could write something like, since then, I've wardened a lot, I've become known, people know my name, blah, blah, blah.
So people want me as a guest speaker? Okay, rule 1.
Okay.
Rule 1 on how to not be a fucking admin. Don't pull a legal Massey. Goodbye, that's my speech.
Okay, thank you, Talia. Also, welcome back. Girl.
Guy.
She's gone.
It.
Alright.
Hello?
What?
Hello. Please stay muted until the question time.
Oh, okay.
So have you ever been banned from our servers? Server ban, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is a very important question. We don't want to give people the ability to ban people if they were banned themselves at one point, but don't understand why they were banned. All right. So think about if this does apply to you, and say you were banned for free killing, you could
Or
say
CT
something
smoking.
like, "Oh, I didn't know the rules back then, but since then, I've read up on the rules and I've practiced a lot." I mean, it says it in the question. Talk about why you were banned. And what have you learned from your ban? So do you have any previous experience being a part of a community? Now, this question isn't so much important. Previous experience being a part of a community. Now, this question isn't so much important. Previous experience.
Mute that guy.
Fuck.
Go on.
Yep. So, yeah, no, so this question isn't so much important as the other ones, right? So we're not looking for someone who is a former DTK admin, super experienced, was a senior admin at some point, you know, that's all well and good. It won't hurt your application to put it on, but
just shows you have maybe a bit of experience when it comes to admin or managing a server, but
it's definitely not needed. So a lot of people who come in are new and never done anything like this before, but that's perfectly fine, since there is a whole training process, the trial period, so it's all good.
I'd like to note that putting down that you moderated your mate's tiny Minecraft server will not help.
Yes, that's right.
It's a lie.
You know, yeah, we
I've
get
made
people
my
like,
own
"Oh,
Minecraft
yeah,
server.
I've moderated on this server and this server," but they never end up providing any evidence for it. So it might just be words in the wind.
some games have completely different moderating systems, so it might not make any difference or help at all anyway.
That's right.
We favour people with experience in past AusJB communities and people with source mod experience.
So why do you want to become a staff member of Domination Servers? A pretty simple question. Now, we get people who send in paragraphs about why they want to join the team, and that's so well and good. But you might find that, well, when I'm reading through staff applications, I kind of snore through them if they're an essay and shit, you know?
Just at me next time, okay?
The secret is to make your answers short and sweet, all right? And to be as honest as possible, and that's most important here. Why do you want to become a staff member? Now, you don't have to go on about, I want to end Mike Spammer rule. I want to help the server, blah, blah, blah. Just to be honest, say, I want to experience something new. I like the server. I like the community. I want to become more a part of it. That's nice. So name and explain 5 characteristics about yourself that complement your ability to serve Domination servers. Now, this might seem like a bit of a mean question, and you might be a bit hard pressed to find those 5 characteristics. But when you type in those characteristics, they don't quite have to be just one-word adjectives, all right? They don't have to be just, "Oh yeah, I'm honest, blah, blah, blah." It can also be, "Oh, I'm easy to talk to." And I'll show you how to write it here. So what you want to do is when you're going through this, you want to do it in a sort of list style, all right? So we get people who just who don't put it in a list and they just make it one big line and then it falls off. It looks really bad and it makes it harder to read. But if you format your thing like this, people will be more likely to read it. And when you're thinking about characteristics about yourself, think about characteristics that make a good warden. Right? So good wardens know the rules. Good wardens good at projecting their voice. Good wardens are not Nazi wardens, right? They're kind. So this is the first of two sort of scenario questions. You've been granted trial moderator status, and you have just joined the server. A respected and honest and well-known individual messages admin chat stating, such and such has free-killed 2 people, and he should be slayed. What is your response?
I think people should be unmuted to try and answer it in here.
We can do that at the end. But when answering this question, we don't really expect you to know all the commands and what exactly to do, right? Here we're trying to analyze your sort of analytical skill, your problem-solving skill, the steps you take to actually get to the bottom of if the person free-killed or not. So you can write it in steps or just in a short paragraph, what you would do. Say like, oh, I would message the people involved. Don't try and get bogged down wondering, oh, what should I do? The only thing you want to avoid is saying, oh, leaving it blank and saying, oh, I'll do nothing because I don't know. So the second question here, you've been given full moderator status. A fellow staff member, while a higher rank clearly violates a rule out of someone's expense and you witnessed it. He tells you not to worry about it, to move on. What is your response and why? Now, this might seem like a bit of a bait question, like we're trying to bait to see if you're a little snitch or whatever. But I tell you what, Onions and management and the operators, everyone on the staff team takes staff misconduct very seriously. So keep that in mind when you're talking about what you're going to do. But one thing you want to do avoid is making situations like these public, all right? Because that'll only add on to the sort of defamation of domination servers. You don't want to publicly expose people, all right? Want to keep things on the down low.
Yeah, you don't want to expose fucking Tobias Biff, eh?
Nah, it's the last thing anyone should do. Now, it's question time. So,
Are there any afternoon
how
tea?
are we gonna do question time?
Do it one at a time.
Is there any afternoon tea?
First?
No,
You have
looky
not
here.
thought about this, haven't you?
Stop posting joke applications, please.
My hand's up to beer.
I don't want
Okay.
to.
Should we just go down the
So,
list?
if you have a question,
Put your hand up.
Yes, I have a question.
I have a big question.
you can at the person you're asking in the event channel with your question, and we'll move down the list. So type your questions.
Take raspberries first.
Why can't I hear the thing?
Who's that?
Shut up, coins, Mike.
It's not mine.
It's Marco.
Counter has a question from he's putting the hand up. So if you want to ask your question, Counter.
I need to lower my hand before I ask my question.
Okay.
There we go. I lowered my hand. What's the word record? What's the fucking minimum words?
All right. Well, Zyth asks if a staff is harassing a player is obligated to gather evidence for it.
No, I said what's the word limit?
Counter, type it.
Oh, fuck. What's the...
Well, by no means. So are players obligated? Do you mean just random players in the game?
Or is the player themselves, like themselves,
Or
obligated?
well, if you're talking about just random players who witness it, then of course they're not obligated by any means. No one's really obligated to do anything. But it would always be a good thing to, right?
Lots of hands raised, Tobio.
I mean, does the hand raise mean they have a question? Because Counter was doing it, he didn't have a question, so...
I did. I
did.
typed it like 20,000 times and I even said it.
Alright, can you say it again, please? One more time.
What's the word limit?
The word limit? Well, look, there is no word limit on the application, but the thing is, it's just like writing a resume in real life, alright? You want to keep it short and concise. You don't want to read fucking essays, alright?
Hold on, you don't write resumes like that. You write it like a cover
Well,
letter.
yes.
So not a resume.
Well,
you
the
applied for a
the point of a resume is that it's short and concise, and it's an overview of your skills. All right.
Technically, this is a
when
job.
when
next
people
time
in real life are going through resumes, you know, you've
so
heard
next time
about
you
it.
want me to submit my
They look at a
resume?
resume for like 5 seconds and decide if they like it or not. Think about just one sentence answers that really convey what you're trying to say and are easy to read. We don't want like big paragraph sub stories about, oh, my
Yeah,
girlfriend
Gunner.
left me, fucking, what's going on? How you doing? So Zythos, the player who is getting harassed. Oh yeah, he's adding on to his question. So yes, if you are getting harassed, you are not obligated to report your harassment. It's completely up to you, and then you can post your harassment details on the
This
forums.
forums, yeah.
Yeah. Dustin asks, is it easy to get mini games mod or staff trial?
It is actually
my pants. Probably mini games mod, I'd say. Yes, because there's a lot more to it with jailbreak. There's a lot more rules and such. When mini games, it's just like, I don't know, you respawn people or something.
Just muting,
Something
respawning,
like that.
slave for
Yeah,
delaying. That's pretty
right. But with jailbreak, you get in the habit of banning people, which requires you to be a bit more competent. So Osama asks, how do I know I'm doing the right thing, and how do I become respected by the admins and the managers? Well, you do that by following the rules, right? You follow the rules, and you make it apparent that you know the rules. If you're just breaking the rules 24/7 or messaging admin chat for no reason, you know, those sort of things will get you shunned and get you the name of degen. So Zeno asks, why isn't Seaman guest speaker? I don't know who Seaman is or why he would be a guest speaker.
Uncultured. You don't know Seaman. You kidding?
So
Shut it down, boy.
That's it. We gotta
So
shut this down.
Ooga Booga asks, do you have to be good at CSGO to be his staff? Well, yeah, look, I was
And
playing...
he got to op.
That's right. I was playing comp with some staff people today in Zooey Mama. That was not good. So no, you don't have to be good. And you know, if you were around when Jester was around, you'd know he could never do any of the obbies. But still, Jester was a renowned jailbreak staff member and beloved. You don't have to be good at jailbreak. But
maybe a huge sweat, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get everyone here to repeat after me?
Oh, onions.
No. Onions.
No.
Onions.
You do not get paid as admin. This is a completely volunteering sort of thing. But yeah.
Wait, you don't get paid?
This is an internship.
That's
for
right.
life.
But I tell you what, this is good experience, alright?
Put this on your resume in the future.
That's right. Yeah, on your resume, past experiences, admin on domination servers, #1 server in Australia. That sounds good.
So I got my job.
Number 7.
7, yeah.
In the world, that is.
Thank you, staff. Good night.
Okay, thank you. Dustin asks, can I become reputable/respected after a long list of bans? Well, there's always a chance, Dustin. But you gotta be consistent with your good behavior. Alright? A couple games where you don't mic spam, a couple games where you warden well won't save you. It takes time, right?
Maybe
So think-
wait for the next community.
Yeah. Think about how long you've been a degen, and that's how long you gotta be good. Alright?
So you got a lot of years to wait. That's what you're saying.
Before you leave, make sure you get unmuted, okay?
So, Zonoko asks, what are your 3 tips for trials? Well, I guess my tips would be listen to your mentor. I would say maybe stay on the down low, alright? Don't get into any dramas or whatever. Just stay quiet, do your job. Don't make any dramas.
Sent my app in, boys.
Put on push to talk, guys. I'm hearing your feedback.
Raspberry says, how do I stop people from bullying me for being an MG mod? Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're no longer an MG mod. But if if that's what you're worried about, then becoming a jailbreak staff member will put that all away. Right? No one gets bullied for being on jailbreak staff team, as you all know. Alright? You're impenetrable.
Oh, well. No, I won't.
Yeah, right. So Garda asks, is 200 meets too many? Well, look. Just like what Zonica was saying, he was a big mic spammer who muted heaps.
One mute
But
is too many.
everyone is capable of reforming. Maybe not 13 or C3. But basically everyone, alright?
What about Gravillies?
Oh, maybe. Maybe not.
Alright, well, I'm only playing once. GL boys.
Good luck, mate.
What is jailbreak?
Douglas, it's bedtime.
Sorry.
Well, I think we basically have all our questions in.
Z Marco.
Yeah, does size matter? Toby.
That's a good
Why did your dad leave you?
Join the
I
other
don't know.
chat.
Wondering myself. But so good luck on your staff application then.
Love you, Tobia.
I'll see you all at
Very
Massive
good,
Lean.
boy. So yeah,
Answer my question.
we can
Answer my question, please.
well, we can all raid server
Promote me.
2, change the map to Freedom Final. There's taco, there's pizza.
Wait.
Serve yourself. So you don't have to send your application tonight. If you want to look at it tomorrow with a new fresh pair of eyes, that'd also be good.
Toby, look.